was one of our very first Quantum Leopard competition. It was way back in 2015. Can I please have a massive round of applause for your next hat, the fabulous one who lives in Declan, Kennedy! Woo! Woo!
Thank you very much. It's here for James. Thank you very much. In case you're wondering what happened to Margaret Thatcher's hair, mystery solved. My thanks to James for letting me do this slot a little bit earlier so I can go do my starring role at Dream Boys. See you later, Catherine. I've got to say, I'm just, anyone else intrigued by this? Does anyone else feel like we're at a retirement party for this monolith? I'll present it with a carriage clock and say, well done, you've many years' service being unscrutable and unknowing. That's and I don't know if it's something to do with being under street level, but I always get that feeling if I'm in the basement. Does anyone else feel like we're survivors of something? But just any minute now, Morgan Freeman's going to come out and give a speech. It's just, cannot crush the indomitability of the human spirit. I will say at the start that I've been keeping a cocked ear on everybody all night, and the more I hear about sex, the less I like the sound of it. My relative inexperience leads me to a question I would like to put to, and I appreciate this will be for anyone with a green badge, but I just want to ask you guys, did you know that the human ears are an erogenous zone? Did you guys know that? Yeah, no, I didn't know that. I found that out during a haircut. So I should really start formally by saying, hello, it's great to be here, by which I mean I hate being human, I wish I was a kettle. And just to tell you a bit about myself, I once saw a man hoover up a wasp, so you can't say I haven't lived. I suppose I really should apologise for the way I look, because there's no way to make this palatable. I have tried. At the minute, I look like Peter Griffin if he's directed by Christopher Nolan. And I have gone the clean-shaven look, cropped hair, no beard, and I really picked the wrong moment in history to look like Joss Whedon and Louis C.K. And I've tried different combinations of hair and facial hair. The trouble is I've got high blood pressure, so I'm red-faced. I look so gammony, and my face hair comes out white that I tried sideburns, and it was a look I can really only describe as Brexit Wolverine. It was like, shh, leave means leave. There's that sort of look. I've sort of added a tie to the ensemble, and now I think a very specific look, scientist who realises his error in the third act. About 75 minutes in, I sort of look down and go, oh my God, I was so preoccupied about whether we could, I didn't stop to think about whether we should, and then Velociraptor finishes me off, so that's the look I've got at the minute now. Just actually, a little bit of shout out to people with green badges, make a little bit of noise. Brilliant stuff. I want to do something. I want to request something from you, a little bit of call and response. So we're going to divide the audience down the middle. We're going to, let's say here, the equator will be here. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you fight each other. Yet. But this other room, anyone with a green badge, shout, say.
Say.
Brilliant. And this other room, just as loud, anyone with a green badge, shout, ton, spelt T-U-N, ton.
Ton. Say. Ton. Say. Ton. Say. Ton. Say. Ton.
Thank you. I just wanted to worry everyone out there. That's... People at the bus stop were looking across going, Satan, elephant and castle, right? Cost of living's hit him hard. That's, Anger is an energy! Anger is an energy! That's what John Lydon sang in the 1980s, isn't it? Anger is an energy. It's not a renewable form of energy, though, is it, John? That's why we have wind farms, not rage pipes. I don't want to be indelicate, but does anyone else feel like they've been forced to think about the king's prostate quite a lot? I really just really resent having to hear that phrase on the news, because apart from anything else, you know a year from now it's going to be a Netflix series with Colin Firth, isn't it? That's just... It's just... his fingers are so big. Why can't he do his own? Anyway, it doesn't... Next series of The Crown's going to look like a David Cronenberg film. I don't know how much stress. I don't know about anybody else. It's like, why do we still have a monarch? Do you know what I mean? It's just 2024. Why do we need a king? It's like finding out NASA have a wizard on the payroll. It's like, it's like, I know, I kind of a shuttle launch without Gandalf. Do your stuff, Gandalf. Oh. Expelliarmus. Yes, nerds, I mixed two franchises. Deal with it. It's fine. I'm just being deliberately obtuse there, nerds. Don't worry, I'm one of you. I'm a fully paid-up card-carrying word. No, surely not. Yes, I am. It's true. I did that purely for comment. I know how irritating it is if you're a nerd and somebody makes a reference and they deliberately get it wrong. It's irritating. So chill. I'm one of you, yeah? Relax. May the force be with you. Oh, that's the worst thing that's been said here tonight, is it? That's fine. But I really do. The thing I'm not looking forward to is just for all sorts of reasons. I really couldn't handle another royal funeral because the last one was disturbing. That queue to see the... I mean, why? I must queue and see the Queen's cadaver. Why? You want to make sure she's dead? What's the... If you're that desperate, take a steak and a clove of garlic with you. It's not, you know... I don't know if you know this, that queue got so huge that it actually became a singularity pulled in other queues. So there's a use you were there too. I had people reaching the head of that queue going, well, I only came to Argos for an air fryer. I don't know what this is. Anyway, it's nice to be out of North London because it is a... Anyone else in from North London? Green badge people? Yeah, quite a few people. It is pretentious, let's be honest. It's in the local park, recreation ground. There's a little sign up that says there's no such thing as the dog poo fairy. I know. All those years I spent putting dog poo under my pillow, wasted. But obviously, you may have picked up by now, I'm not just based in Northern. I'm from the north of England, and I know even amongst this audience there'll be people going, oh my goodness, a northerner. Didn't they cross the Bering Straits all the Australopithecus apes? So I know some of us have degrees and have seen manufactured glass. It's incredible. I appreciate I don't sound very northern. That's because I've lived here since 2001, and that's 2 decades of people basing their assessment of your intellectual capability on how I pronounce the word cupboard. So. Tend to lose my accent quite fast, but I will say yes. I'm originally from I say originally from Manchester. I'm just from Manchester. No need for originally there. Well, I'm from Manchester, but I decided to be from somewhere else for a while. But I think the hardest part is the fact that we now have to revere Andy Burnham. Yeah, that's a very knowing laugh over there. That's. Because I originally have to admit he's done some good work. But I remember when he was running for Labour leadership and he uttered this phrase, in the Labour Party, a businessman is just as much a hero as a nurse. I know, Andy. I tell you what, Andy, I know who I want carrying out my prostate exam, and it's not Alan Sugar. That's... although, in fairness, Alan Sugar does do this a lot, doesn't he? So... he might be good at it. I'd watch The Apprentice if that's how it ended every week. Just, you're fired, mate. In it goes. So, thank you very much for the opportunity, Lord Sugar. But then he'd find something early, wouldn't he? He'd find something, somebody be cured, and he'd be a hero again. The circle is complete. That was quite a valedictory opening of that drink there. Well, who'd have thought my set would end with a toast for Alan Sugar? I'm getting a little slide. I'm going to check sort of how much time I have left, which I appreciate. It's a very rude thing to do, and I feel like as a comedian, I'm one of the few people who has license to do that. No other performer will be able to do that. You know, it's actors can't do that. You'd feel pretty put out if halfway through an X-Men film, like Ian McKellen just went, "Oh, this is going on a bit, isn't it?" Tell you what, there's one fucking genre that needs it. It's those films, isn't it? Infinity Wars, 3 hours. That's infinity for my bladder, pal. That's. Green badge people, any superhero fans in before I go? Yeah, I love them too, but I'm sick of the films. And I'm sort of, the concept is ineluctably flawed, isn't it, with superhero films? Because they're always running into problems because of their mild-mannered alter ego. There's always having to, sort of mild-mannered Clark Kent, mild-mannered Peter Parker, always having to explain where they've been and what they've been doing. You think, surely the most effective alter ego for a superhero is a belligerent drunk. Because then you never have to explain anything, do you? It's like, why were you running around in spandex in a cape? She left me. Okay, fine. So, I'm going to go now. I will say you have a wonderful evening. Oh, well, God, I went all local radio then. I'm sorry, Joe. So, you've got a wonderful evening's entertainment. Time's just coming up to 1 a.m. Tonight's discussion, trees, should they be allowed to marry? Here's Sade with Your Love is King. Good night.